Sell it all. That is today's video topic. Have you ever thought about consolidating your collection? Or perhaps a better term when it comes to this video, considering we're all about Pokemon investing, have you ever thought about selling up and consolidating your Pokemon investments? Now, what I really mean by that, and it sprung about from a conversation with my best mate, and it's so good to talk Pokemon card investing with someone. It's so good to have a friend or like-minded people, whether it's in a card store where you go play the TCG or wherever it might be. Friends on the phone, connecting with other like-minded people on forums or whatever it might be, just to have conversations about Pokemon card investing. Because you know what? When you get stuck in your own little bubble, you don't know it all. And sometimes your ideas can be quite stagnant. So it's really good to breach out and discuss ideas with other people, because you know what, we don't know it all, I don't know it all, you don't know it all. It's so good to learn different perspectives from different people, and I'm sure different YouTubers and different channels have different perspectives on sealed Pokemon card investing or singles Pokemon card investing or making money from Pokemon cards by running a business than what I do. So with all that in mind, our conversation was talking about, is it better, and this is the discussion topic of today's video, is it better rather than buying 20 booster boxes of something just to buy one grail? Like, will that one grail, that really sought after Pokemon card, something that's more rare, will that perform better than say 20 booster boxes? Or another question you might ask is, if you've got a lot of booster boxes or a lot of elite trainer boxes or a lot of sealed product or a lot of singles, is it better to sell those off and buy one grail or two grails or three grails, whether it's a PSA slab, whether it's a sealed grail like a team up booster box? What is going to be best? You know, is it best to sell off your 20 booster boxes or your 20 PSA slabs worth roughly $500 to $1,000 each and buying one absolute grail? What will perform better over time? There's pros and cons to that, like I said, we'll discuss in this. Now, this is my collector app up on the screen here. It is, of course, the video sponsor. There'll be a link in the description to download it. Awesome app. You can see this is my whole sealed portfolio. I don't have any singles inside here. So this is just sealed, and I added it all up. So as part of my collection, I have 66 elite trainer boxes and 60 booster boxes. And I guess this is the biggest con when it comes to sealed Pokemon card investing, is you need space. You just do. Once you start sinking your teeth into it and buying case upon case upon case, or getting booster box after booster box, premium collection box after premium collection box, you very quickly run out of space. You might have a whole room dedicated to it. You might have a whole wardrobe dedicated to it. It very quickly fills up. And then you know what, you run out of space, and you need to look after sealed Pokemon card investments. You can't just chuck them down in the damp garage downstairs or underneath the house or up in the roof. Like, all those things, in my opinion, are too risky. So I get it. That is a massive downside to sealed Pokemon card investing, is the space component. Now, I guess the second one is, and I'll discuss this a little bit more as we go through this video, the liquidity side of it. You know, is it easier to sell one item than it is to sell 100 items? Well, of course it is. You've got one transaction to get your money versus 100 different transactions, 100 different shippings, 100 different chances that something might go wrong. Either way, let's discuss the pros and cons of that soon. My point is, this conversation led to the whole idea about, is it better just to consolidate? Like, it's cool to have so many booster boxes sitting in your collection and so many elite trainer boxes or Pokemon Center elite trainer boxes or 3-pack blisters, but is it better to consolidate that into one grail, one card you absolutely love? So I've got 3 examples I want to share with you across this video. The first one is, and we're going to go back to 2021, just to talk about, you know, if it happened now, how would it look in the future? But what we can do is we can go back into the past, so 4 years ago into 2021, and go, if we made these decisions 4 years ago, how would they look now? Because we could make similar decisions now, and how will they look in 4 years? So back in 2021, I'm going to talk to you about 2 options that you could have had. Ultra Prism was getting a little bit old in 2021. It was the previous generation. So Sword and Shield was out in 2021. Ultra Prism is a Sun and Moon booster box, the era before Sword and Shield, of course. You could have bought, for $313, you could have bought 5 Ultra Prism booster boxes or one PSA 10 Poncho Pikachu with the Charizard Poncho on. Okay, the Charizard Poncho Pikachu was $1,565 US in a PSA 10 at the end of 2021. For the same price, like I said, you could have bought 5 Ultra Prism booster boxes. Now we know which one is going to take up the least amount of space. Like, that is blatantly obvious. Clearly, it is the PSA 10 slab versus 5 booster boxes, which could be a little bit tough to store if you don't have a lot of space. So what's performed better? Fast forward to today, As you can see up on the graphs on here, an Ultra Prism booster box right now is worth $1,276 US. Of course, we need to multiply that by 5. That gets us to $6,380 US versus the price of one PSA 10 Poncho Charizard Pikachu right now. That is going for about $8,900 US. So right now, that slab is worth more than your 5 booster boxes. So if you'd consolidated and bought one slab rather than 5 booster boxes, you would actually be performing a lot better now. Interesting, isn't it? Less space, more convenient, one slab, one grail, very sought after card. The second example I wanted to give you, and this is one that I wish I'd bought, like, damn it, I wish I'd bought this booster box and it feels so far out of reach now, but anyway, is what it is. You don't win them all. I remember buying Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds and Unbroken Bonds, all for about 400 Australian dollars, which is about 300 US, and Team Up was going for about 500 US, which is about 800 Australian. And I just thought, geez, it's too expensive. It's just too dear, so I didn't buy it. Hindsight, hey, what a beautiful thing. So back at the end of 2021, you could have bought one Team Up booster box for $752. Now, Chilling Reign had just come out towards the middle of 2021, but at the end of 2021, when it got this weird 2-wave print run that Chilling Reign got, you could pick up booster boxes quite cheap because we're sinking our teeth into sets like Evolving Skies, Celebrations, even Brilliant Stars. So Chilling Reign was quite cheap. Like, you could literally buy them for 90 to 100 US dollars, particularly if you worked out a deal or bought bulk of them, or you bought a case for argument's sake. So let's say we could have bought 8 Chilling Reign booster boxes for the same price. We could have got one Team Up booster box back at the end of 2021, 752 US dollars versus about 90 to 100 US dollars for that Chilling Reign booster box. So we could have got 8 Chilling Reign booster boxes. If you do the sums, if we look at Team Up right now, it's going for $7,745 US dollars a booster box. So it has pulled back a little bit, much like a lot of booster boxes have. Chilling Reign at the moment is worth $547 US dollars. So if we times that by 8, because we could have bought 8 of them, you're at $4,376. So once again, the Grail booster box has outperformed buying bulk booster boxes of a lesser nature set. Not saying Chilling Reign's a bad Pokemon card set, it's not. A lot of people, including myself, have said for a long time that Chilling Reign is quite undervalued. Could it have some more popular Pokemon in there? That would have helped it, yes, most definitely, but it's still a nice Pokemon card set with good synergy in it, tough pull rates, some good chase cards, a beautiful Moltres, a nice Blaziken, some cool alt arts in the theme there. So, long story short, the Grail booster box has outperformed having 8 of them. Now, the third example I wanted to give you, and this is a bigger one. This is, we're talking more money here. So, one Torchic PSA 10 from EX Team Rocket returns. This is it the lowest pop? I think it might be. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it? It's probably more a question than a statement. Is Torchic in a PSA 10 the lowest pop gold star from the EX era? Quite possibly. Anyway. 25,000 US dollars at the end of 2021 was, look, these barely come up for sale. So it's so hard to cement an exact price for this card because we might get 1 or 2 sales of Torchic a year if we're lucky. Anyway, 25,000 US dollars was a sale that happened towards the end of 2021. If we'd bought, here's the ticker, here's the funny thing, if we'd bought Fusion Strike booster boxes for the same price, and you could get them for about the same price as Chilling Reign, particularly if you bought cases upon cases of them, for about 90 to 100 US dollars. So 25,000 US dollars would have got us about 263 Fusion Strike booster boxes. Wow. Now, Fusion Strike, let's have a look at where things are sitting right now. Fast forward to today. There's been multiple sales, or a couple of sales I should say, of full sets of PSA 10 gold stars. There's also been an individual sale recently, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was somewhere north of $100,000 for a PSA 10 Torchic. I think it was about 106 or 108,000 US dollars that a Torchic went for. Might have been a touch more. Either way, it doesn't matter because if you look at the comparison compared to Fusion Strike booster boxes, they're now going for about 900 US dollars a booster box. So if you times 900 US dollars a booster box by 263 of them, you'd be sitting on 236,000 US dollars of inventory when it comes to Fusion Strike booster boxes. So in this scenario, Fusion Strike has outperformed the one Grail, the one Torchic. So this brings about the question, if you're someone like me, or someone with a bigger inventory than me, or someone with a slightly less inventory, or half the inventory, or a quarter of the inventory that I have, is it worth consolidating your collection? Is it worth selling 20 of your booster boxes to buy one grail? Is it worth selling 40 of your booster boxes to buy 2 grails? I think it all depends on the scenario. There's pros and cons to both of it, isn't it? Like I said, if you have multiple booster boxes, and personally, I don't think it's that difficult. People go, oh, selling's so hard. It's going to be so hard to move 260 Fusion Stripe booster boxes. Well, you know what? Like, they're going for $900 US a week. That is roughly like the median wage in the United States and Australia. Like, you could literally, for 263 weeks, just sell one a week. Put it up for auction. In 263 weeks' time, your 263rd one you've sold is not going to be worth $900 US. It's probably going to be worth a lot more. So you put one up a week and you stop working and you just go, $900 US a week. That's fine. That'll see me through. I don't have to work for 263 weeks. If you do the sums, that is over 5 years of not having to work. Crazy, isn't it? So I get it. Like, people will say it's harder to move those boxes, and you can't just click your fingers and sell all 263. Like, that's difficult unless you're in a high position. You know, someone like Rudy from Alpha Investments that has a Patreon and can sell these off and offer them as deals, and people will buy them perhaps in bulk, or perhaps you'll get 263 individuals buy all 263 booster boxes. Most of us will have to do the grind and make an eBay account and build up feedback, or whatever the reason might be, sell on Facebook Marketplace, meet up in person. I get it. It can be a little bit more difficult than just selling one item. So that's definitely one pro to just investing in a grail. But I also sort of like buying at the low entry price. You know, I like that fun of having heaps of booster boxes. I like the fun of building something like this where you've got lots. This to me is much more exciting than just having one card there. Like having a $60,000 US Pokemon card. I'd rather have $60,000 on a wall looking fun and exciting. I don't know. There's pros and cons to it both. I'm not sitting here telling you an answer. I'm just going through some examples of what could have happened and opening up the conversation per se, because it's an interesting conversation to have. And that is essentially the question. Is it better to consolidate some sealed items or multiple sealed items into one grail? Or is it better to invest in everything, and that spray and pray approach, as we used to say when we were playing Halo 1 and 2 and Call of Duty? Well, there you go. There's a question posed for the night. Thank you heaps for tuning in. I'm Michael, this is Grails, and I'll catch everyone next time.